Okay, welcome back to the Armchair Generals. I am Crash, and supposed to be with me this morning was El Scotcho and Nova Star. El Scotcho is on route, as I understand it, but Nova Star, well, it's really early where he's at. It's 7:43 a.m. here. We are set to begin any moment with the Warhammer preview on September 12th. So today I am hoping to see some really good Codex previews. It says it's the Codex show, so I'm really hoping to see some good Marine previews, and I'm hoping to see some good Necron previews. I definitely would like to see a little more revealed of the Necrons and how they're going to play moving forwards. I think a couple of the new units in the Indominus box are a bit of a mystery. I don't really understand the point of the Plasmancer as of the Indominus box, nor the point of the Reanimator. Personally, from a tactics perspective, you can get a better effect with a Ghost Arc and a Cryptek on the 20-man Warrior Squad. I guess the Reanimator does work for things other than the Warriors, like the Ghost Arc, but I just think it would be better served with some more souped up rules or something to make it a little flashier. As it is, it's a low wound count model for a fairly high price. I don't understand the Reanimator or the Royal Warden, honestly, other than taking hits. Just a few units from Indominus that haven't really made sense to me. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the way the new models look. I think they look great. I think they look fantastic. But GW always produces fantastic models. Even when I don't personally care for the models all that much, design or aesthetic-wise, they look amazing. But it looks like they are getting started.
Hello everybody, we are live. My name is Adam Pope. I'm joined by the marvellous Eddie Eccles. Welcome to Warhammer Preview Online, the Codex Show. Eddie, what's today all about?
A very exciting today, Adam. We're going to take our first looks inside the new edition of Codexes, the new edition of Warhammer Space Marine Necrons, and a few other bits and bobs as well. So the main focus of the show today is to understand kind of what we can expect from the new wave of codexes, what's going to be in them, what might be different, and just what to look forward to for all Warhammer.
Good.
So there's quite a lot in store. You and I have had a little peek behind the curtain of the things we're going to talk about. But let's talk about the launch of 9th edition and everything that's going on. How are you enjoying Warhammer 40,000 right now?
So it's a very exciting time. I think for anybody who's a Warhammer fan, especially a Warhammer 40,000 fan, we're a few months into the new edition. I think you only have to hook your head into the internet at the moment, into social media, to see all the incredible things people have been doing.
Sorry if you see me messing with my eyes and everything. Very tired. It's early. I'm not used to being up at this unholy hour.
So I think that my experience of it, and personally of the new edition, is very much being excited and painting up some orcs and kind of dabbling in a little bit of Space Marines and Necrons and looking for
There's an El Scotcho.
Sorry.
I did a slight intro for us.
Cool.
Can you hear the stream?
I can.
Can't or can?
Almost every day.
Okay.
Can.
We're enjoying the hobby aspect of it. I'm building up towards what I feel like is going to be a real.
They've said that it's supposed to be a good preview for the 2 new codexes, and then a preview for how codexes are going to move forward, period, with 9th edition.
I was listening as I was driving. I had it pulled up on my phone.
Yeah, I think Crusade.
And since we're recording, hey guys, it's El Scotcho. Sorry I'm a little bit late. Life problems kind of led me to be late to record.
Also very early hour.
That too. But and sorry to see that Nova Star wasn't able to make it this morning, but real life stuff. He's in a different time zone. It's real rough for him getting up this time of morning.
I mean, it's early for us. It's an unholy hour for him.
Yeah.
Thousands of people in the chat right now from all around the world. Thank you for joining us. It's lovely to have you spending some time on your Saturday, wherever you are. And please let us know where you're tuning in from. It's one of my favourite things whenever we do one of these, to see where people have joined us from. Have you got up early? Is it a late night for you? Is it the middle of the day?
I'm gonna respond and to their.
I love it. This is the bit where the chat explodes with everything from Durban, South Africa.
I know they're in the UK, but I really wish they could do it a little bit later, like 5, 6 p.m. their time. So like
Yeah.
11 noon our time, somewhere around there.
Yeah, it wouldn't be as arduous. I mean, could you imagine being in Australia or New Zealand? Yeah, it'd be like 1 a.m, midnight. Actually, I don't know. If I was up all night, that wouldn't be so hard.
I mean, they're already looking at, an extremely late hour. I don't know.
So like I said, I've been fairly
Maybe I'm self-serving.
1:45, I guess, is what time they film
kind of an ongoing project.
Nurse.
In the last few weeks, I completed a few more boys for the army, and then I got to lead the squad as well. But I've also built up the rest.
Well, there's your problem, Mr. Eddie Ecklis. You're playing orcs.
I know. It's such a really hard thing to do.
Though one of the big armies, I was watching Signals from the Front Line, one of the big armies that won at a recent tournament was an orc horde army.
Well, the thing about an orc horde is right now they're just so flippin' hard to kill. That many minis.
It's hard to put that many minis down.
Yeah.
And if they do get into melee, they are very capable.
Oh yeah, it's just you got to get them there. And I actually really think of, because I have so many commandos, it's very expensive currently. I might try seeing what I can do to get some commandos into combat, for board edges and flanking and stuff. That's kind of a thought I'm currently having, but I don't know. We'll see.
Well,
I just ordered a knight, y'all, and I cannot wait for it to show up.
yeah. I've been looking at the Chaos Knights for a little while now. I just think they'd be a lot of fun to paint and model and everything like that. But
yeah, it should be pretty easy to swap out parts on yours to make it a Chaos Knight, the one that you have built.
I definitely think Imperial Knights is a good faction for you. You like big and stompy.
Big, stompy. I think it'll meet some needs that the Space Wolves can't serve, like anti-vehicle wise. It's going to have some very big punch against vehicles, and that's one area historically Space Wolves have always been a little bit weak. It's not like they don't have the same access to everything that Space Marines have, but the way the Army plays is all about the charge, all about the melee. And when you focus on that, you really have to pull back.
It's a split of your focus.
Yeah, exactly. When you play to that play style, you have to ignore your vehicles in order to get that melee capability. So, but I think Knights will synergize really well in that regard because they have melee capability. All of them do. There's not a single Knight in the game that I'm aware of, at least, that isn't very capable in melee. And also, they can shoot the stuffing out of things.
And the Chaos Knight list I wrote, it's rudimentary at the moment, but it looked fairly balanced. It was a Castigator, which I know you took an Imperial Castigator.
Yeah.
It's a Castigator. It's a dual rapid fire battle cannon boy to sit in the back and just unload at things.
Yep.
And then one that's the Avenger Gatling cannon and chainsword to be able to move into melee and still step out and fire and everything.
What I'm currently thinking of night-wise is my Castigator.
The Armigers.
Armigers, yeah. That's actually where I was going to go. I'm going to do the Castigator because he's got the Bolter of Doom with, a ridiculous number of shots and 8 melee attacks. And then a pair of Armigers right now. The ones with the Melta-gun and chainsword. Because that the
sharing
melta gun capabilities just got way better, and they really that helped those armigers massively.
I mean, Armingers serve the same role as Warhounds.
They really do. Yeah, in a real big Titan army, the Arbigers are the scouts.
The Knight Dominus or Knight Tyrant for Chaos, and the Porphyrions serve as the warlords and stuff, and then regular Knights are the Reavers, and then Armigers or War Dogs are the Warhounds.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm fine with it. It just...
Oh, yeah. I mean, it makes sense. It actually follows the classic Titan Maniple organization, so it doesn't bug me a bit. I'm actually glad they came up with a small knight to fill that role, because it was kind of awkward having a bunch of the big knights and be like, yeah, this guy's the scout. Like, he looks like the rest of them.
So what are you looking to see in this preview there, El Scaccio?
Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, no, you're fine.
Get back on subject here. I'm hoping we get some Space Wolves, of course, because they are my favorite Space Marine faction. More synergy between the Mini Marines and Primaris Marines. That's what I'm really, really hoping to see.
behind the scenes.
That's really, I mean, because right now there are gaps that I see in the Primaris only
Really interesting
versions of lists that cannot really be filled by Primaris. So either I think Games Workshop needs to have some solutions for those
that was around when I was
gaps, or they need to make it, well, they have made it more viable to take Mini Marines to plug those holes. I mean, you can take a regular Marine squad again and get that utility of having a heavy weapon and a combat weapon in that squad. Do the objective setting, and they're less expensive too, but just as durable as the Primaris.
really grizzly. So I think.
Sorry, what do you want to see out of this? So I know you're excited by the new Necrons.
I'd gone over it a little bit before you got here, but I'm looking to see. I'm really just hoping to see a good layout for the plan for 40K for 9th edition, as well as I want to see some decent Necron stuff. We've gotten quite a bit of Space Marine previews. I want to see the new Catan, the Dragon.
Is it confirmed the Dragon's going to be in this?
I mean, that's the only thing most people can think that it would be.
There's a few other Catan. I've been doing some research for some of our lore dives, and there's a few other Catan that survived the big Catan Edathon that they had back in prehistory of 40K.
I did not know that.
Yeah, there's at least 7 that were made into shards.
Okay, so it could be something else. Well, I hope.
Yeah, it could.
I hope it's the Dragon.
The Dragon would be cool, but that would also be a huge, huge hit to the Imperium, because it's rumored that he is in the Labyrinthine Nocturnus on Mars.
Mm-hmm.
And if they broke him out, then that means the Necrons are fighting for Mars, which is literally right next door to the Emperor's throne.
Well,
So
look at the lore. I mean, the Mechanicum's not going to tell the rest of the Imperium, hey, our Bastion world is under assault.
no, true, but I'm pretty sure it would be
That would actually,
really, really apparent.
that would be kind of cool, though. Actually, if there's like some secret war on Mars, just like the war on Terra between the Custodes and the demons.
Actually, yeah, that would be kind of cool.
I mean, if you pull in a same trick from the hat, but it still would be pretty cool. But I am actually looking forward to the new Space Marine Codex and having all the armies collated, just like in 3rd edition.
Yeah, and then the mini dexes to differentiate the sub-factions.
Because that's been the word, is that we're getting the supplements again.
I'm okay with this. I loved them.
I miss it because it was so much easier. It really was. Instead of, Codex Space Wolves, that's what Space Wolves have access to. Well, what about all this stuff that came out 3 months after Codex Space Wolves? Well, they don't have access to that.
Yep.
And
that was frustrating.
in the same way, off and on for the Dark Angels. Dark Angels have always had a little more unit variety.
Yep.
But it's been the same way. There's been lots of units that they haven't had access to until an FAQ says, oh, yeah, here's access.
Yep.
And
sorry, we overlooked that, guys.
Yeah. Well, and before 8th edition, FAQs were not as
Yeah.
common.
Just a quick point out. I'm looking at the chat on the video stream there, Crash.
Yeah.
And Necro Merlin mentioned Dark Angel Bandai when.
Yeah.
So that would be an interesting thing to see some Bandai huge scale Primaris Dark Angels.
I would love to get a Dark Angel action figure.
Oh, I know.
Would
I
spend
know.
way more money.
Those things are what, like 50, 80 bucks a piece?
You know, I don't know. I'm supposed to have a Necron Warrior at some point, but I'm not sure what happened with that. I know at one point Nova was talking about having gotten a hold of or gotten a reserve on 2 of the Necron Warriors.
I didn't even know they made a Necron Warrior, so that's news to me. I I was really pumped by the announcement of the Bandai, and then I never saw any of it at all.
I know there's been a big push in Japan for it because Bandai is already huge over there.
Yeah, and they're trying to really break into Japan because I mean, you want to talk about some fanatical fans. I bet you want to have some die-hard 40K fans, that's where it would be. I mean, they are going to ride through thick and thin and not quit. I mean, just look at.
They said, sorry, they said they're almost ready to go, so we'll keep.
Okay.
Oh, nope. Apparently, that almost was exactly ready to go.
Uh-oh.
No, sorry, my lord. This time, the tanks float.
Oh, I like it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, those look like some race. Ooh, Obsidian Destroyers. Those are cool. It's like an
old Necron Wraiths.
Yeah, with some Blade One
grades.
Fingers. Psychomancer. Chronomancer.
Oh, I like the octopus thing.
I do too. That Psychomancer looks cool. Necrons just got scarier. I agree. Those look pretty scary.
Aw, that's it.
First of all, that was a hilarious mug, and second of all, unless you've been hiding under a monolith for the last few months, you might have been able to guess that Necrons were going to be first out the gate and on their way to us very soon. That was a great reveal, Eddie. What did we see?
Yeah, so very exciting, as you say, Adam. I've got my copy right here of the brand new Codex Necrons.
Oh!
I'll dive inside it in a second.
Really?
Absolutely, this is the new Necrons.
Yeah, thanks for tasing us. Show us some pages, bro.
Hiding in the Tomb Complex. A few extra surprises that we didn't know about. So we've seen a new unit of destroyers, the Ophidian Destroyers. Some people in the chat quite rightly seeing the comparison there, making similarities to the very classic Wraith miniatures that Necrons had in, I think it was 3rd edition.
Yep.
But they're a new unit of destroyers that will sit alongside all the rest of the various destroyer units in your Necron army. Also, there are a couple of Cryptex, which specializing in various different Necron technologies. So we had a Chronomancer there.
Oh, that's going to be technology instead of psychic powers. I'm cool with that.
And also in the manipulation of time and the science of
probably
messing around with time space, which is just the sort of dastardly thing that Necrons would get up to.
Sort of like evil tech witches, right? So I think
evil tech witches. I like it.
The Codex and sort of delve into it and see what there is.
Yes,
absolutely. So I've got mine here. So
oh, they both got theirs. Uh-ohs.
Glorious Necrons. Lots and lots of good stuff in here. I think there's, in some ways, it's as you'd expect a Codex would be. You've got pages and pages of glorious backgrounds and lore.
Show us the book.
Show us the pages. Show us the pages.
And you've got lots and lots of rules. And I think we'll kick off with this is a piece of artwork from the new Necron Codex and what we can see.
Look at them all crossed over, like either obeying or like paying obeisance or
flowing the light out of them.
I'll be quiet.
Here. In central piece.
What are those? Those look like Scorpex, but look at those big old staffs they got.
And you can see they're kind of sitting in obeisance are the ranks and ranks of Necron warriors who are pledged field.
What are the big things in the back? Look at those with the huge guns.
There are various different cryptex and optech things.
And the
this is basically representative.
yeah, underneath the monolith.
I think that's the Forge World thing.
Oh yeah, those are cool.
Those
are. Oh my gosh.
You can't really
I want one. I don't even play Necrons.
Of the 41st millennium, the big bag of 40K.
Yeah, absolutely.
See, there's Scorpec destroyers over there. I don't know what is standing next to that
Lord in the middle there, or off to the down that center aisle bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get you.
They're
It's almost like they're his guards.
They're multi-legged like Scorpecs, but
Yeah,
the stabs.
big long staff-looking weapons, and those look like Kopesh style
Uh-huh.
on the end.
Like a destroyer lord, all sort of hunched and cowered before this sort of.
Somebody said in the chat there that Orican the Diviner might be the one that we see walking down that aisle.
Yeah, I think what with the Necrons up until this point is that what you've had is lots of different dynasties rising.
Actually, that would fit, but wrong dynasty. If that's the Silent King up there in the big white bubble.
Maybe the rest of the Necron race has been destroyed.
Yeah, but if Orican allied with him, maybe. I mean, Silent King is technically the last of the final triarch of the Necrons, so triarch, whatever you want to call it. Sorry, I've been doing a big old hacking Necron lore into my brain.
Kind of all these various different.
Well, he said Void Dragon.
Royal courts of the Necrons, and once more kind of put in place the grand plan to conquer.
Oh no, he is one of the Silent King's most trusted counselors. So that's probably Orican.
And effectively bring in a new unending.
I mean, it makes sense.
I just looked him up quick over here. Orican, also known as Orican the Diviner, is one of the most powerful of the Necron cryptex and is a potent chronomancer. Millions of Terran years ago, he was the astromancer of the Necrontyr Empire's ruling triarch and one of the Silent King Zarek's most trusted counselors.
This is the equivalent to having a brand new Space Marine chapter, or Chaos Legion, or a Craft World. This is a big deal. This is the last of the the most recent, certainly, of the Necron dynasties to reawaken.
I actually have to say, after doing some of the lore crunch that I've been doing to prep for our upcoming lore dive, the way they reworked the Necron background is good, because they were very much unbeatable in older times.
Almost no lore.
Well, yeah, but the lore that we did have was just they were inevitable, like the Tyranids, and it was going to end up being Chaos Necrons and Tyranids and Orcs all clashing together at the end.
Follow their inevitable command protocols of Zarak. So the rules, obviously, as part of all this, and I understand the Necron rules are pretty sweet.
Nice.
Absolutely are. The Necrons have a whole suite of special rules, but the one we're going to take a look at first is the Zarakan dynasty. This is the dynasty of the Silent King himself. And that color scheme, of course, is that kind of beaten bronze with kind of black undersuit, which is familiar to anyone who's got themselves a copy of Indomitus. Command box.
5+. Ooh.
So effectively, this is
5+ feel pain.
Your army comes from this
basically.
And it does a few things.
Against mortal wounds.
You get an ability to ignore mortal wounds. You get an ability to get some rerolls when you're firing because of your
nice.
very high-tech weaponry. He has all the best technology. And there's also something in there interacts with command protocols, and we'll talk a bit about those in a second. So this is another option if you want a Necron.
Ooh.
When the
third,
the Undying Legions becomes active.
Kind of represented by the fact
I wonder what that means.
Best at utilizing kind of anti-psychic technology. So
You can
they've got kind of Blackstone.
If every unit in your army, excluding dynastic agents and Catan shards, has this code, you can select both of that command protocol's directives instead of just one.
They're shooting and close combat attacks.
Sounds almost like the Space Marine stances or doctrines.
Yeah.
Tactical, Devastator, and Assault.
Effectively, what it is a army-wide ability, a little bit like the way that combat doctrines works for.
Oh, here's protocols.
Like combat doctrines. veterans, what you do is at the start of the game, you have 6 different command protocols to choose from, and you note down what order your command protocols will be enacted in. So in the first turn, you get one of them, the second turn, you get another one, the third turn, you get one, the fourth turn, you get different ones.
So you have to choose before the game starts what order you're going to run.
And that's exactly it. And what it lends itself
Think ahead.
to.
Oh, they can fall back and shoot at -1 for Directive 2. That's pretty good.
To approach the conquest. So they'll be like, first we're going to do this.
I like that scythe too.
The battle
Or is that an old school model?
binary plan that has been put in place by the Necron Overlord.
I mean, not old school, but it's
so each one of the protocols
not a new
has 2
model.
abilities, so Directive 1 and Directive 2.
But still cool.
It is.
Choose which of those 2 you want to enact when you get to that turn. So this one that we're seeing on the screen now is the protocol of Conquering Tyrant, and one of those is an ability to boost aura abilities, which is really useful if you want to kind of spread the influence of your characters across the battlefield.
So rumor has it we're going to see a kind of a preview of a build your own dynasty system that they're going to have for the Necrons. So you don't have to shoehorn yourself into one of the...
Planning to bring home your charge.
Would be nice.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think for my mind, this is probably one where you go...
The problem is most of the build your own stuff, they're just not as good as the named ones.
Yeah. That's
Unless you're going for a specific flavor.
What I want to be doing is falling back from all the content they've just initiated.
I think build your own is going to see a lot of crusade use, but not necessarily tournament use.
You know, put forward and attack.
Probably a pretty good
Instead, use
assessment.
Directive 1 and boost your aura abilities and spread your army a bit wider into the battlefield again.
I mean, I appreciate it for the lore and story ideas and what it can do for casual play, but for competitive play,
how they're going to approach the whole game.
I don't know. It would be nice to see it get used.
Oh yeah, and you may in the rare
it really means if you've got a really good plan for your next
like unexpected semi countermetal lists.
Yeah.
Okay, so we talked a little bit about the new cryptex. I think that might be what's up next. Other than perhaps the galactic Rubik's Cube champion 250 million years in a row, what is a chronomancer?
yes, so I mean, first off,
Look at that cool like long beard thingy he's got.
I've just come on leaps and bounds in the past few years. I think this may be the best of them, to my mind.
It's unbelievably cool, isn't it?
Very, very cool miniature. But a chronomancer basically is a type of cryptech. A cryptech who specializes in the manipulation of time and the kind of arcane science of messing around with the time-space continuum, which is, all sorts of fun can be had with messing around with timelines and basically like going backwards and forwards in time, slowing down time, all that sort of stuff. Still a cryptech, still a scientist, but specializing in that element of Necron technology.
Oh, I'm down.
One in the video. Sorry, might have a little lowdown on it.
I've got a rule for this guy first.
Yeah, go on.
So here we go.
Chronometry.
If you're wondering what that interesting looking strange...
In your command phase, you can select one friendly dynasty unit within 9 inches. Until the start of your next command phase, you can reroll charge rolls.
Necrons that charge?
And it gets a 5+ invul.
From the same dynasty. And you can reroll charges for that unit.
That's pretty schmancy.
So both of those abilities are great in their own right. But what it lends itself really well to is if you wanted to have a unit that in your head is going to be an aggressive unit that's going to go have a fight with something durable in the enemy army. So, for example, you've got a big unit of Lich Guard or destroyers or something like that. You can boost their ability to get to combat more efficiently, but also you can make them more durable when they arrive. So if you want to go chop up Terminators or Knights or something like that, they've got a bit more survivability.
That'll be interesting to see some Necrons.
Right,
They're
so
giving depth to the army. I like it.
for 9th edition Warhammer.
I agree.
What do we have for Crusade in the Necron Codex?
Ooh.
So there's loads and loads of stuff for Crusade.
Ooh.
Probably one of the biggest changes for Codexes is that obviously Crusade is a brand
Purchase
new
this
element
requisition
in
after a battle in which your Crusade army
and Crusade,
contained one or more units with the Destroyer Cult's keyword. Select one Lord or Overlord model that was also part of the Crusade army, remove that model from your order of battle, and replace it with a Destroyer Cult character model from the same dynasty. You cannot purchase this requisition if doing so would cause your total power level to exceed your Crusade force's supply limit.
with
it.
characters.
The newly added Destroyer Cult character model starts with the same number of experience points as the character it replaced, and immediately gains the appropriate number of battle honors for its rank.
Interesting. Yeah, I really like that color scheme, by the way.
That represents itself by removing one of your lords from your roster and replacing it with a Destroyer Lord as he succumbs to the plague of destruction.
Yeah, I think there's a really nice narrative book to be had with this, and it's a really good piece of.
You might actually see some of the Crusade rules.
Ways that your Crusade builds continue to evolve as you play games, and it lets you make choices for your narrative experience.
And I think the thing for me that's really exciting is that there's lots of Warhammer 40,000. There always has been that is story that evolved over longer time periods that you couldn't necessarily represent in rules in a single game. And what Crusade brings is the ability to represent some of those changes in your characters or in your army that will be more gradual, will happen over time, but are very narrative and very compelling parts of the lore can now be represented in rules, which is exactly what you want from a game like Warhammer 40,000, right?
I love it. That's absolutely perfect for me.
Really like the hammered and beaten finish they got on that copper. Whoa.
So let's a little bit of a look at him. So have a view of his profile.
Yeah, so we've talked about this guy a little bit.
Oh, no.
No surprise to anyone that his profile is absolutely ruinously good. I think it's worth saying with this guy.
16 wounds.
He basically has an entire page worth of data sheet for special rules. He has all sorts of weird and wacky abilities. But his raw stats.
6 attacks.
So
But he's
16 wounds, toughness 7, strength 5, but that is boosted by his weapon. That adds all sorts of bonuses to it.
those pylon things have 5 wounds apiece.
Best units in Warhammer 40,000, if not the best.
And they probably have like Lookout Sir stuff.
In the entire game.
They probably take hits for him, so he's probably got closer to 26 wounds.
Come out on top.
Yeah, actually, yeah. No, that's
Crazy technology like those Minears next to him that will just like blast bolts of lightning. He's got abilities, aura abilities. He's got
blast lightning too.
enemy units that can
He can affect you, and he can affect you and influence the game in every phase. He really is one of those all-rounders, and I think it suits somebody who has essentially gone up against literal gods in his past and enslaved them. So I think
He shattered them. Correction, sir.
For the Lord of the Necrons. Speaking of Necrons, let's have a quick look at those destroyers.
Oh yeah,
destroyers.
definitely old school. I mean, the guy on the right-hand side with the sticky claws.
They got a plasma sight too.
The idea that they just want to kill and maim and rend.
Definitely getting old school Wraith vibes.
Oh yeah. Old school Wraiths, and not only that, but mix a little flayed one in there with those claws. I mean, they only got 2 claws, but
Effectively, deep strike into the middle of
Yeah.
the force. They
no skin.
can chop them up just as efficiently as any other destroyer unit would. So a very scary.
Give us a stat line.
Assault units.
Yeah.
Giving them yet another way to kind of add the deadly destroyer unit.
I will say, while I like the copper tones that they're going with here,
Yeah, they
really, there we go.
thought of seeing them. They look very similar to those Wraiths from the 3rd edition. Of
Strength
Warhammer
4, toughness
4000.
4, wounds 3,
Worth
attacks
saying
3.
they don't replace Wraith. The Canoptech Wraiths still exist.
Oh, those threshers is what the finger ones must be, and they get 1 extra attack every time they fight.
No, the Ophidian Claws is that one. The Hyperphase Threshers is the swords.
Oh, got it.
Blade is the big 2-hander. Those are
Yeah.
the Scorpex have. Is
Okay.
the Threshers and the Reap Blades. But they also have the Ophidian Claws. So if you're just fighting like guardsmen, throw down
Two
the
additional attacks with the weapons. Munch.
Yep.
Against shooting attacks. But they make
It's only AP1, but I mean, guardmen only have a 5+ armor save, so.
in combat.
Oh, if you go with the Reap Blade, the big Reap Blade, hit roll of 6 gets additional hits.
High damage, high output attacks.
Oh, they tunnel too.
Oh, and neg 1 to attack them. Whip coil bodies.
Yeah, but they tunnel too.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, they do.
The tunneling horrors would synergize with the special we saw.
They can come in from, oh no, so they can do the underground thing like a Ravener.
I think that model as well.
They're a Tyranid Ravener.
Body as well.
They're a robot Ravener.
Or even a whole army that was themed around that kind of.
Just for those that don't know, Raveners are one of the big scary monsters in the Tyranid army.
charge.
And they're really, really cool looking. Probably one of my
wish-
favorite.
They've got these long.
Yeah, I love my Trigons. I wish the Raveners were better.
Yeah.
They do.
Oh,
Oh, resculpt of the flayed ones.
Blade one, I think,
Super awesome.
on lore for almost since we've had Necrons, and there's been a lot of people who've been very keen to see them make the transition into plastic, and I think that these guys look absolutely
Wow.
how flayed ones look in my head.
I mean,
the idea of like the flayed ones again fall into a curse that kind of
ugh,
Oh my gosh.
they're so ugly.
They are, but it's cool. They're way cooler looking than the old ones.
Yes.
horrible shadow haunting terrors.
The old ones were great for third edition.
Oh yeah.
Existential dread that they create.
Uh,
They're wearing
Wow.
plates before.
Nova Star is missing some good previews right here.
yeah, he is.
And then add to that, you have to ask yourself the question: how often?
I don't think he's even viewed the messages yet. No, he's still asleep.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Freaking out a little extra.
Oh, that dude's got a hand straight up hanging.
Yep, I noticed that right off the bat.
Ugh.
It doesn't fit properly.
Yeah. So a lot of people
Ooh, extra hit on a 6.
make them a little bit better in the game as well. Blade
They want to eat you.
as well as all the synergies that a brand new Codex will bring, they will also have new rules just for this.
Are they going to be more than one
Coming
wound?
across a lot of
That's
their
my
units,
question.
a lot of their units get a lot better.
Don't know. I'd like to see a stat line though.
This is
Necron Scissorhands. One of the people put in the chat.
Blade ones. They have flesh hunger is now an ability to basically their attacks can explode into more attacks.
Oh, Secretary Nid Bates. Tamales smell really, really tasty.
Against organic foes.
We have one more thing we should probably go into in a little bit of detail, which is the Chronomancer.
No stat line? Okay.
He's
Oh, Psychomancer. He's cool looking too. And I really dig the whole,
War
like,
of the Worlds vibe.
the thing I like most about the model,
not only that, but you notice he doesn't have the hangy down tentacle look
these little legs,
like the other one does.
he's very imaginable.
Yeah, I think this guy is taking the some of the aesthetics we've seen on some of the other Necron models and turning it up to a very, very cool model. The digital kind of skull there represents him harnessing some of the terror powers of the Nightbringer, which is one of the Satan shards of the Necrons, effectively weaponizing, digitizing pure raw terror and turning it into a weapon against their foes.
Nice.
Nightmare
You're gonna be able to mess with leadership a little bit. I like it. I mean, I don't want to fight it, but it's a cool ability.
It is.
When they do run, more of their models are likely to flee as well.
Well, because right now,
iPod War of the Worlds kind of vibe.
yeah, but like right now, the only other army that really does anything like that is the Drukhari.
We need to move on, or we will fall behind our schedule.
Oh.
I cannot
What's that?
a nod to whichever member of the
He's saying they have to move on or they fall behind schedule.
on the
Oh.
sort of just execution and the way that digital skull is formed. I've worked with miniature designers over the years, and I don't have a clue how he did it so well. It's amazing.
Yeah, that is
Anyway,
really
Willa
an
Johnson,
amazing.
Ben, is there any?
I would like to see it face on where that skull was facing us, personally. But
Next video.
woo! I like the new logo.
Me too.
Lord Cook, you can't just solve all of our problems by making more Primaris Space Marines.
Yes, you can. Yes. Stick up for yourself, Carl.
Ugh. I mean, that model looks cool. I don't like Gravis armor, but that model looked cool.
Blade Guard veterans. There's going to be. Oh, he's wiping it with a chaos banner. Ooh,
There's the
like the new land speeder.
Storm
Ooh,
Thunderstrike.
that's got a las talon. Crash that has a ooh,
That's a heavy onslaught.
yeah.
That's
That is
triple?
some flamethrower thingy or triple melta.
a heavy flamer.
Solid intercessors. I like that. Those possibilities there. I hurt my hand when I punched it. I was so excited.
That was
That's a multi-melta on the primary sergeant.
No, the Eradicators. That's a
That's it. That's all we get.
I needs all of them.
I know.
That was awesome.
Tease.
There's so much cool new stuff.
I need all of it.
For the Space Marines. What struck you about that video?
Yeah, so absolutely, Adam. So in a surprise to literally no one, Codex Space Marines confirms as alongside Codex Necrons. It's an absolute beast. There's loads and loads of good stuff.
Adam is not as organized as Eddie is. Eddie had that ready to go.
This is
One of them is clearly more excited than the other.
So an absolute coma of it.
Adam needs another cup of coffee.
New miniatures as well, so we're going to get new vehicles that we've seen. We've already seen a few, there's even more.
I want to know what that triple incendiary cannon looking thing was.
Yeah.
With legs ever invented.
They're very cool. There's multi-part versions of some of the units that we've seen inside of Domitus, the Blade Guard veterans, Eradicators, and
Assault intercessors.
are all getting multi-part kits. So if you have started a Space Marine army with Indomitus or the command box set,
In the chat, somebody, where's my Primaris Lieutenant? There's always a Primaris Lieutenant.
There always is. They're so not useful. Although those Volkites are. Uh-oh.
One of the things to talk about in this
Oh, this is for Crusade.
Yeah.
Position when an Adeptus Astartes character from your Crusade force gains their second or subsequent battle scar, remove that character, replace it with a Dreadnought. You can only add a Psyker Dreadnought? What?
What?
It is replacing was a Psyker. You can
Apparently, the Blood Angels aren't the only ones that have Psyker Dreadnoughts then.
next stage of undeath. They've been slain in battle.
and might I mean it could be a Crusade only thing,
I love it.
but
I think this is absolutely like. When
but-
I am really glad that these dreads got some love, with the rules wise, because they were just unusable in 8th edition, in my opinion.
no, they were.
kind of ancient
But just the ability for them to move it as vehicles, to move and fire without suffering penalties, massively increased Dreadnoughts,
Yep.
especially the Redemptor, because I mean he's got the Underslung Onslaught, you give him the other Onslaught, and then you give him the heavy Onslaught for his right arm, the Underslung Onslaught over there.
I want to see the Space Wolf melee version of these things when I get there.
Backstory, they're kind of these revered ancient warriors.
I could swap on
I love the fact that you can
a mega shield and an axe under that guy, no problem.
taken on a crusade and maybe has like a glorious.
They don't look like little dumpsters like the old ones.
Imagine you had a space.
Yeah, the old ones just kind of look like a mobile bunker,
Yep.
little pillbox. I mean, I love them, don't get me wrong, but
I remember when we went to Games Day Atlanta and you were so excited to get that Dark Angel Dreadnought.
well, it was so much better looking than the regular ones.
Yeah, it was.
I still have
The
broken.
first thing you did was drop the thing. That's
I still have the broken, shattered carcass of it.
do you?
I'll find a way to fix it up in a way that makes sense.
This freight train going because there's so much to cover with the space.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Obviously,
And he's your favorite chapter.
content in here. What are we looking at now, Eddie?
Yeah, so one of the things that we've seen with some of the Psychic Awakening books, we've started to delve into the idea of some of the kind of sub,
One roll to see if it's inspiring.
and what this codex
You're
does.
going to be able to recite their litanies.
Together in a single book, but it also unlocks
Interesting.
for narrative and match.
Oh,
So something like
he
Master of
can
Sanctity, who
use
is
2 litanies per turn.
your,
Cool.
chapter, you can pay points or requisition points to upgrade one of them to a Master of Sanctity to give them new abilities. And
I don't think he's an actual Dark Angel, though, because that's... Well, then again, if he's a chaplain, then black armor makes sense. But, I mean, he's got iconography, but he could be one of the
that guy as the leader,
second or third or whatever other founding chapters.
and pay all the points to unlock loads of extra cool abilities. And this applies to chaplains, librarians, apothecaries, standard bearers, marines.
But why does he just have a stick and not a Crozius?
When you look at how some of the different chapters venerate specific ranks or
Not sure.
titles above others, a Dark Angel's force or a Black Templar's force led by a chaplain or I don't know, soldiering was led by a librarian or any number of ways you could sort of use this to add and enhance the story behind your space books.
Yeah, if you've got a particular favourite of the different Space Marine officers, I think lots of people do. Like, most people are particularly drawn to chaplains or librarians or like a master of the forge or something. So your chapter fortress is assaulted, and the master of forge.
At Captain Furious Gaming.
All of his.
Good question there. He asked if the Dark Angels were going to get access to the mainline chaplains from the Codex, or if they were going to be replaced by interrogator chaplains only.
Well, that goes back to the supplements. I mean,
just lots of options that everybody who plays Warhammer.
Let's see here. Kiefer Killjoy. Let's see. Any news on codes to link codexes to the app? And
there are 9
response, Kiefer Killjoy, it's a thing.
forget
Sweet.
98 different units.
a mind-blowing.
I hope they get it working right.
Is this
I don't like Gravis, but that is a pretty cool model.
Yeah.
I'm in love with a little plastic man.
Yeah.
So
They're too fancy for me. I like my Space Wolves.
Saw a little bit of this guy. He was in one of the earlier previews that we did, but here he is in all of his glory. This is a spaceman captain in Gravit's armor. So this is the heaviest version of the kind of Primaris armor that we've seen so far. He has a master-crafted heavy bolt rifle. All of those words are good.
He's not got his sword sticking in the dirt either.
It gives you an option to have
Master-crafted heavy bolt rifle. What is a heavy bolt rifle?
Isn't that
And it just needs to
heavy intercessors? Okay, there we go. We get our answers.
heavy squad.
They got Gravis armor too.
It's everything we love about the tactical marine archetype or the interceptor archetype, but it's in Gravis armor with an even bigger gun.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is a very, very cool looking unit. You can see there that the
Stats.
carry are even bigger than the upgunned bolters that the Primaris intercessors have.
Put it in the thing. Send it in a message. They're like, what are the stats?
And that's what too. The cool things about this unit is that
Oh, he's got a heavy bolter over there.
in the same way that
Oh yeah, he sure does.
So small in his hands.
I know.
which we think we might even be.
I'm telling you what, I really just want to convert.
Yeah, we got some more minutes first, though, so we'll come back to Gould in a second.
No.
Yep. So here we go. So this is the Eradicators. As we mentioned before, this is
They're in Gravis armor too.
in Indomitus.
Yeah,
That one has a plasma cannon on his back. Crash, look.
There are Indomitus, and here we have the multi-part equivalent.
Unless that's a tank for his melter gun.
Parts and options you would enjoy, but also there's the option to add a heavier melter gun into what is already a pretty heavily armed melter unit with a good old multi-melter.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think a very. Cool
I really like this. This is something I've been saying Premiers need from the beginning, is the ability to vary up their weapons a little bit.
This unit just gives you even more options. More ways to
Eradicate this in the chat.
The
Ugh.
thing that
Oh, look up top.
Yep.
Twin heavy stunners.
Yep. I really hate that they're doing the pushing.
Looks like missiles on the sides.
Yeah.
Land speeder for the Primaris.
So some kind of either the frag rockets or something like that.
All the lead firing weapons you could possibly hope to have, and the flippable turret on the top with the stubbers, just everything you could love. But it's not the only option available, as I'm sure Ben will now show us.
Those are different rockets, and those are big rockets.
Anti-tank weapon with, and I was looking at the name of
That's a Melta.
Melta gun.
Triple barrel.
Melter Destroyer, I think.
There we go. All I remember was it was a Heavy 3,
No.
essentially.
We both said it at the same time.
Mush.
The missile pods on the sides are different, and obviously the missiles
Yeah.
are different.
That's the last Talon
Different
version.
missile pods again on the sides.
I think those are sighting things there.
What else is there to say? We've got a glimpse of some of their rules coming up. haven't we?
The rockets are different up top again.
3 different side pods and 3 different tops and 3 different hull mounts.
Yeah, I'm cool with this.
This is a land speeder equivalent. This allows you like a really fast attack.
Oh, and the missiles under the winglets. Killer missiles, probably.
Yeah.
I can imagine it's not quite.
I'm down.
As dumb as the Invader ATV looks, this looks
That looks cool. Yeah.
great.
All right, they need to get whoever sculpted this to redo the Invader.
Something like a land speeder 4, which is the zip around to harass enemy units to pick up isolated targets. to put pressure on your opponent immediately and get out of trouble when you need to.
Somebody said that's a Rhino chassis with on repulsor plates with wings. I mean,
Very formidable.
you know,
It's also the missing.
it's been a long-running joke that the Imperium doesn't care about aerodynamics. They just beat the laws of physics into submission.
Like a attack bike and a land speeder, and with the ATV on the horizon somewhere, and then the storm speeder. That's everything I need to properly start 10 vehicle trouble with my enemies.
Absolutely, I think we should
I
video.
can definitely foresee a bunch of these floating around for White Scars players. White Scars are going to be nasty with all these new speeders.
And it's something worth pointing out. Absolutely everything that we've shown here and everything inside the Space Marine Codex is available to all of the Space Marine chapters.
Yay!
The Grey Knights were just super.
Grey Knights too?
You say with the exception of the Grey Knights.
Oh.
Dark Angels or Ultra.
But Death Watch has been rolled into the Space Marine Codex as a chapter tactic.
Cool. Good.
They look good in red.
They did. I thought they looked good in red. I like the yellow helmet. There's something very second edition Warhammer 40,000 for me. Just like scratch that little nostalgia itch for old school. But
There's my wallet is pinned here, says Bardelicious in the chat. Uh-oh, Blade Guard. He's got the gray hairs
Wild success.
and the tactical.
That is a Volkite pistol.
I'm okay with this.
Different chapter colors and variants and things. Dominance dropped. And here we have the multi-part set. There's so many components and options and things you can do with these that it's almost hard to.
They better come out with a kit to modify these for Space Wolves. That's all I'm saying.
No, I think Blade Guard Veterans for me, when they came out, were exactly what I wanted Space Marines to be. The aesthetic of kind of crusading knights has always been the strongest for me. What Space Marine is, what it looks like.
I dig it.
These miniatures, first off, capture that perfectly. And secondly, they look like they're absolutely dripping in cool bits that I'm going to use all over every single Space Marine project I'm ever going to do ever again. I think
He's got a point. They've all got little personal hair shields. Do you notice that, Crash?
Yep.
Can get, and I think
I really dig that.
kits are just so cool. Like
The Indomitus commission I did, I painted each of the heraldric things white.
Just to make them nice and easy for.
This is just such a cool looking kit. The concept of the miniatures is already awesome, and the ones in Indomitus do a great job of it. But the multi-part kit just lets you make them whatever you want in your Blade Guard.
I need so many of them.
I have to give a shout out to
Why does one have a white helmet and one have a red helmet with a white stripe? Is that the sergeant for the squad or something?
Rivals Army. And also,
No idea.
You want a sword on your belt for any length of time,
Looks cool.
Maybe.
It's exactly what we end up doing. I love it, how natural it is.
I'm gonna guess the dude with the Volkite pistols.
Oh, he's got a Thunderhammer. Crash, Thunderhammer. I almost goofed up there and had to cut.
He does have a Thunderhammer. The boy to his right makes me think of a Space Wolf.
Yes, he does.
Put a different head on him with a beard.
Oh, yeah.
That's a Space Wolf.
He's like, I'm coming to murder you. It's like, you're going to get all 3 feet of this steel.
Is that a miniature Thunderhammer? Or is that a full-sized one and it just looks tiny?
It just looks tiny because it's in a Primaris hands. And he's got a flame pistol, too. Yay! Intercessors with options. They're making it so that we don't need our mini Marines anymore, Crash. But they're making it palatable. They're making it so that we can justify getting rid of them.
Look at dude with the grenade bandolier.
Yep.
Looks like he done blown himself up, too.
The chat has gone wild, pointing out the tiny observations. It's impossible in the length of time we have to conceivably cover.
I dig that, though, because that's something I could see a Space Marine doing. Like, I'm going to charge and stuff the
magazine release.
and then jump off and do a backflip while I'm jumping off in my power armor.
There's just so much cool stuff going on with these.
Every one of them has a relic thing hanging from their belt.
Yep.
And potentially help
That's not a big Space Wolf thing. Then, as long as I can replace those with wolf tails, I'm fine.
Hellblasters who are on the move, but there's so much scope for not just making a cracking squad shroud the box, but utilising
A lot to see here.
which is the thing that Space Marine players love to do.
Yeah, and I think if you're looking for an army that's very dynamic and very aggressive, I think you're absolutely right. Those legs give great options, especially for people like
I really like that post to the left of the sergeant, though.
that. Where you're
Yeah.
on
Running
you got the
one, that's super cool. And the one kind of above and to the left of him.
I mean, the whole squad looks cool.
Yeah, very dynamic. Oh, and I didn't even notice that one. Yes.
Heavy intercessors. There we go.
Executor bolt rifles. 42-inch range.
Intercessors are exactly what it says.
AP2, damage 2.
Heavy versions of the existing ones.
Yeah.
Strength 5, AP2, damage 2. Executioner heavy bolter. Oh, there's 3 different forms of the heavy bolter.
It's also got 3 different options for upgrade.
Yeah.
Heavy 2, strength 5, AP2, damage 3.
Oh, that Hellstorm is going to be
36,
nice.
rapid fire 1. Strength 5, AP1, damage 1. Standard heavy bolter. Hellstorm bolt rifle, range 30, assault 3, strength 5.
Lots of things about the
Hellstorm heavy bolter, heavy 4, strength 5, damage 2.
I'm down with all of those.
How to deal with Space Marine armies that have
It's your Bolter Squad Doom for answer to the Hellblasters.
It requires 6 or more models, though. That's interesting, because that gives people automatically the lesser blast against them.
There's toughness 5, 3 wounds.
If no model in this unit is equipped with a heavy bolter, you can take one of the following options. They can all have their heavy bolt rifles replaced with 1 Hellstorm bolt rifle each. All the models in the unit can have their heavy bolt rifles with 1 executioner. Oh, if you don't take a standard heavy bolter, you can take the... That's kind of a weird... Oh, they're just saying you can't have the regular heavy bolter with the other options.
Yeah.
Okay. No, go back. It wasn't done.
I mean, we know that about the multi-build of Thanks guys, but it's not any different.
I would have liked a little more time with the heavy intercessor profile.
Yeah.
Because I can foresee the crash using the heck out of those.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a crash unit. You're going to be able to build a Space Marine gun line again.
I mean, they're very much my play style. Stand there in heavy armor and blaze down range.
Yep. Curious to see points cost. I noticed that none of these have had a points cost. It's all power level. That's concerning me a bit.
Well, I mean, it prevents programs like Battlescribe from entering the information early.
Yeah, that's true. And they now have a competing app.
Something like a land speeder or bike squads or anything like that. The Chaos Terminators with combi melters. Any unit with melter at all.
Surprised, given their popularity, they're not showing off the an Outriders multi-part kit.
So the other thing we're throwing out multi.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the multi into multi-melter.
This guy Crazy Jimmy here is like, my sisters love this. It's like, if you're talking about your
Storm speeder hammer strike. Here you can see
missile launcher heavy 2.8. Oh, those are crack missiles. Crack storm grenade launcher. Melta destroyer heavy 3.
Hammer strike missile launcher. Oh,
I like all of it. Ravenwing. If this unit is from Dark Angels, it has the Ravenwing keyword. Ravenwing can take it.
12 and a movement of 16 means that if your opponent hasn't deployed carefully on the first turn, you can blasting tanks at short range immediately.
Oh, ow. Oh, 16-inch move. That's a good point, boys.
They're going to be melting through pretty much anything.
you can get into half range turn 1 and start melting.
Yeah. Zoom plant.
Eventually they're going to be pricey, though. That's probably 110, 120 point model.
Best outcome, yeah. Maybe even more. I want to see what the last Talon version has.
Like, I think Novastar has been conservative on the Goliath or Gladiator or whatever the new battle tank is.
Yeah.
And he thinks it's only going to be 160 points to 170 points. I think he's being a little wishful on that.
Yeah, he wants to take 3 of them, that's why.
I mean, lots of armies lend themselves really well to that kind of Kravis look as well. I think Imperial Fist, if you want to have an army that's all about defense and making,
especially with the Imperial Fist rules for the extra shots on bolt weapons.
Oh yeah. I did notice though there's no storm bolters, no lead flying with this. This is all about the tank busting.
Necrons. I don't know if we've got to say it or people didn't hear.
I mean, or heavy troop with that
I've got you back.
cracked storm grenade launcher, maybe.
We have another.
Although I don't see that on the model.
Another thing
Where's the crack storm at?
away.
Is that the side pod things? Whoa,
Oh, bam.
new stuff.
Indeed. Angels of Ball return triumph.
Nice.
Ooh, that is
Sub.
smart.
Oh, that's pretty.
Codex supplement, Blood Angels. That's confirmation.
Yes,
That is official confirmation of supplement codexes.
Ooh, there's
Yeah.
Primaris Death Guard or Death Watch,
make-
whatever this guy's are.
No.
Oh. Well, Nurgle gets its own full codex. That is.
Intercessor Death Guard.
Oh, do you see those Terminators?
Oh,
Yes!
there's your confirmation. Supplement codex.
Ah! That just made me super happy. Those are Primarisized.
That is
Oh,
a-
I like that head I saw.
Kit.
Here we go. That's some Death Watches.
Death Watch.
Nice.
Ah!
Ooh, I like the variety. I mean,
Just
just,
like full blown kits.
yeah. So, Codex Death Guard. So, the Death Guard are getting their own.
It said, accept the Death Guard, heretic scum.
I'm blown away. There's a thing I've always told you.
So happy.
That straight up looked like a Space Wolf, like Intercessor kit. There was a
Yeah.
lot of Space Wolf accessories there.
Uh-huh.
What they enable. Eddie,
Oh, I'm pretty sure that largely, I mean,
So
most
the
Space
Blood
Wolf.
Angels Death Company Primaris confused me because as far as it was understood, the Primaris Blood Angels don't suffer from the curse.
Yeah, but if an older Marine,
Oh, stepped up to
yeah,
3 Codex supplements. This is the Death Watch, the Blood Angels, and
cross the Rubicon.
isn't it? And a Codex for Chaos. For the first
No Dark Angel supplement. They're getting a supplement, guys.
The supplement
They're just,
space will work in a very
Yeah.
similar way to the supplement that we saw.
they've got because we're gonna get Death Watch versions, Death Watch, Deathwing versions of some stuff, and we're gonna get we're getting but-
I see very clearly a Terminator there, though, right on the front of the cover.
that art is just sick.
Oh, yeah. Look at this. Sanguinar, is that? Or is that some of the... That might be Sanguinius in the back.
I think it's just Sanguinary Guard.
Okay. I've never seen them with wings that big,
They are
though.
pretty big though. That could be the Sanguinar.
Embarking quests to kind of slay alien warlords and things like that.
I like those.
What I think
That is a very cool codex.
we've mentioned it a few
And
times.
there's a Space Wolf front and center.
Death Watch effectively have inherited
And a Dark Angel,
Codex
like back to back.
very
Like,
just gone through the roof.
we might not like each other all the time, but we're going to fight together.
that's about you done, has turned into, you can basically have an entire Space Marine army with all the bells and whistles and all the
What about the
bikes
orcs,
and
though?
transports and,
Stuff like that frustrates me.
Yeah.
That's why I don't pay attention to the chat as much because it said it's the Codex show. They're clearly going to be talking about the immediate upcoming codexes,
Yeah.
being Space Marines and Necrons, and then supplements have been a big question for the Space Marine Codex.
Yep. People are just, I mean,
I understand news on your army, absolutely.
Yeah. they are literally never, ever, ever going to drop everything at once. That's just not how Games Workshop does.
And it's not conducive business-wise either. You want to drop chunks
Yeah.
to maximize profit. I mean,
Yep.
they're a for-profit business.
That's how their business model has been for ages uncountable as a company. Did you see that Gene Stealer or Rat or whatever ripping into the Space Wolf on the cover, though?
No.
Yeah. He was getting castabbed.
Land speeders and everything, but you also want to make sure you've got the Sanguinary Guard and you've got Dante and Mephiston and those characters add the extra flavour, and that's what these supplements bring, bolted onto that very impressive Space Marine Codex that we've already seen.
Now, I've seen a lot of questions in the chat. I'll address one because I can speak literally from the heart on the subject, which is where the Dark Angels are waiting their turn. They're the first Legion. They're the best Legion, quite frankly. We should...
Best. You got a Dark Angels fanboy there.
It isn't Adam, but the Dark Angels used them just arrive a little bit late.
There's a Dark Angels collect. Hurts. And we arrived just in time to make Horus get himself blown up.
Well, they gotta press their robes, boys and girls.
Wait a little while. We're the best. So that's all very exciting. I love the idea that essentially the chunkiest, bestest Space Marine Codex.
That looks like a big old thick book, though. Dude.
Yeah, boy.
Ways to
like as thick as the rule book.
all
Which I mean,
Space Marines, though, we also had a glimpse of Nurgle's own the Silence of Mortarion Death Guard.
just so you guys know that are watching, I'm not opposed to people playing the Death Guard. Just they gross me out. They literally models are kind of repulsive. Very cool models, but very.
Technically, they're excellent models. Just
Codex. This is the oldest Codex, I think, currently still in out in the world in circulation. So the Death Guard of
Codex Chaos Space Marines. Good job, bud. Like, I think this is currently the oldest Codex out there. No, Codex Chaos Space Marines. Good try, though.
Lots of upgrades and tweaks to Death Guard units. There'll be changes.
It's really sad when a Games Workshop employee doesn't know things like that.
The Indomitus Crusade.
Doesn't know their own line. Yeah.
Visited the Death Guard was right at the start of the Indomitus Crusade as the kind of main antagonist to Guilliman, and that story will have moved on. But the very exciting if you're a Nurgle fan, a Chaos fan, or a Death Guard fan specifically.
Oh.
One of the things that
I mean, that's a cool model.
It is really cool and really gross.
From his double flamer to
all that snot dripping off of.
It's not to think too much about it.
He even just said, best not to think too much about it.
Absolutely. So this is the Lord of Virulence. He is a Chaos Lord, a Nurgle Lord of the Death Guard who specializes in accompanying demon engines into battle. So one of the things that defines a Death Guard army in the battlefield that's very common is that they will bring lots of kind of Nurgle-tainted machines of war. So
quiet haulers.
Yeah, you can get rid of the picture now. Thank you.
Yeah.
So gross.
I'm like purposely watching the chat so I don't have to.
It's not even by far the grossest Nurgle.
No, but it's still enough to kind of like.
He's drippy.
Yeah, you know you're going to get one of those as a commission there, Crash.
He's got Alphys there. He's got.
You know somebody's gonna pay, and they're gonna be like, "That new Crash guy that's painting for y'all, is awesome. Make him paint it."
I don't want to paint Nurgle. I don't want to paint my little Nurgle kill team.
I know.
Even left most of the gross bits off of them. Like, I left as many of the gross bits as I could off of my Nurgle dudes.
Yeah, that weren't essential to build the squad. I know. I remember.
What I love is everything we've seen is the sort of the next wave that follows in this new edition of Warhammer 40,000. I've seen lots of people in the chat clamoring for their.
Oh, apologies for the yawn, everybody. It's early.
Up again, there's more Space Marine hate in the chat. Guys.
Yeah. Like,
Space Marine are their money makers. You got to get over that. You don't like it, buy more models from other armies. That's it. That's the simple solution to the problem. Buy other armies.
I mean, it's a business, guys.
Yeah.
I understand the frustration. I play Eldar. El Scotcha plays Orcs. I play Tyranids. You know, and yeah, those armies are definitely lacking in newer kits, in more updated rules. But you know what? This is a good sign. You know, we're getting these massive revamps and overhauls for Space Marines, for Necrons. I mean, Necrons have lacked love for a long time, guys.
They really have. Not only that, but speaking on Eldar, they really, background-wise, have backed themselves into a whole a corner with the Eldar. There's not a whole lot new that we can see added unless they pop up a craft world out of nowhere that hasn't been around before.
Big for the Eldar.
They have to.
Refounding of the Eldar Empire in the corner.
Oh, new video. Oh, there's a Tau. What? I was not. Oh, there's a squigget. Woo! Ooh! Ooh! There's some Eldar. Oh, I love those scorpions. Not those scorpions, though. Deathcore Krieg! Yes. Oh my gosh.
Imperial Armor Compendium. Cool.
Nice.
How many data sheets?
Okay.
Yes, this is the Imperial
I'm going to turn them down a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, to continue the subject, like, I mean, trust me, we've been playing 20 years. We understand. Orcs still are using the same kit for boys as they have been since I started playing.
Yes.
I mean, yes, it's got some updated parts and stuff, just like they have updated the Space Marine Tactical Squad, parts and stuff.
With grav guns and stuff,
But
yeah.
it hasn't, and admittedly, Space Marine Tactical Marines didn't need an overhaul in the same way that Orc Boys do. They're just very dated models.
Yeah.
Tyranid Gaunts, both
that's-
Hormagaunts and Termagants need a significant update. Honestly, Tyranid Warriors need an update. I love the models, but they need an update.
But there's a simple solution to this problem. Buy more of the kits. When they see an upturn in sales and they see more people playing the armies, they're going to give them more love. That's it.
And even there, I can say, playing the armies more because, I mean, Frontline and other tournament organizers do report data, and if they see those armies getting more play, they're more likely to produce minis for them.
Yep.
I mean, Eldar, good lord, Eldar need a massive overhaul. The Guardians need an update. I mean, the aesthetic doesn't need to change, but the models need an update, just like the Necron Warriors. The Necron Warriors didn't change that much. They just got, an update to more modern models. But I mean, the overall aesthetic of these, busted down, warriors just got enhanced. And that's really all most of the Eldar models need. They don't need massive revamps.
Yeah, I mean, bring the Guardians up to the level of cool that the Dire Avengers have. I mean, the Dire Avengers are a sweet kit.
Yeah, they're still a pretty good kit.
Yeah.
I mean, but Guardians need an update. Swooping Hawks need plastics.
Yeah.
Update. Warp Spiders need plastics and an update. Striking Scorpions, please keep that Predator-looking aesthetic.
Oh my gosh, yes, please.
And an update, just like Howling Banshees. I mean, they didn't change the aesthetic for Howling Banshees at all. They just got really, really cool models.
And actually, I'm curious to see if we see Howling Banshees in use here in the near future. We'll see how the rules change around, but with the changes to Power Swords, they are very much worth their points now.
With the change to Power Swords, which tells me they knew that. I mean, we know they knew that change was incoming, but the update to the points cost for Howling Banshees tells me
now.
They knew the Power Sword update was coming.
Yeah.
Because that makes a lot more sense. I still wonder why Striking Scorpions, caught a punch in the jaw.
We'll see. They're probably going to get better, and we just haven't seen the rules yet.
I hope so. And I honestly think Aspect Warriors need to go up to 2 wounds.
That would make sense, actually. Or some sort of an invulnerable save or something. I mean, what are the talking heads talking about? Come on, Eddie and Adam.
What a shovel through the head of a heretic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it was an interesting thing to turn them up on.
A comment in the chat that was happy noises coming through a gas mask. Just perfect. Right. So, is there anything we haven't covered with the wardrobe compendium? I think we're in a good place.
No, so very exciting. If you've got wardrobe models on your shelf somewhere and you're kind of wanting to use them, this is the book that's going to have all that stuff in. There's loads of armies covered. I think we saw there's power stuff in there, there's Eldar stuff, there's lots of Astra Militarum stuff, there's Chaos stuff, there is Space Marine stuff, there's things like your Leviathan.
Somebody's like Custodes?
Staples of kind of, I suppose,
Custodians aren't going to get an update for a bit. They're fine.
Not only that, but they're probably one of the newest armies to hit the scene.
Well, I mean, they updated them with Sisters of Silence in Psychic Awakening, and honestly, they're fine.
And on that is a Leviathan
Yeah.
I was given by some friends, and I've never really done anything with it. But the idea of combining that Leviathan Dreadnought with the rules Codex Space enables me to transition one of my fallen heroes to pilot.
Oh, what kind of heroes, right?
Oh, don't you start. No, I walked into that one. Fair play. 1 point to Eddie. So, there we are. I think we've had a pretty good suite of things to kick off this Codex show. We started off with Codex Necrons.
I think Eddie is in office, if I had to guess, with all that swag behind him.
I say all of it. A solid glimpse of the rules that you'll find within and how they will interact with your models and enable you to play with your things in new ways. We delved into the Codex Space Marine, the biggest and I dare say bestest Codex.
Look how thick that is, Crash!
That's
I
a
love
big
the fact
boy.
that I've only just
That's like rulebook thick, man.
one little bit. And
Oh, I'm so excited to see what that has in it.
Well, just the idea of
Space Marine chapters.
yeah, somebody in the chat was like, Dark Angels get Centurions. Are we confirming that? Yeah, they're a Codex entry.
They said, guys, you got to pay attention. They literally said the words came out of their mouth that all Space Marine chapters will have access to all the new Primaris stuff and all of the old stuff that they had.
Rad. They've done a great job of bringing the stuff that I love.
Yes, they confirmed it.
Oh, I have to find the Dark Angels page. And this
Man,
is
people are exasperating because they just don't pay attention. They're so worried about one aspect or another of the video. Whoa.
Ooh,
mercy, compassion, forgiveness. These words, used only by the weak and the supine, have no place in our order. We must earn redemption through the wreaking of vengeance. Any other way is heresy.
Dark Angels.
My boys are coming.
And it's like liner notes in the Codex or something.
A lot of attention given to second founding chapters. There's a whole bunch of new alternate color schemes and a little bit more background and exploration, and quite a lot of art dedicated to seeing things like the Howling Griffins or the Carcharodons in battle.
Ooh, Carcharodons.
They straight up just acknowledged new Carcharodon stuff. Yes! One of my favorite novel chapters.
Different versions of Space Marines. And the same goes with the Necron Codex as well. There's lots of different dynasties that are painted in, golds and blues and bronzes and things like that, rather than just all.
What? Gold and blue Necrons?
I think one of the things that
Interesting.
how pleasant, how nice it is just to look through a codex and just be kind
I
of
mean,
swapped with
I'm probably not going to do metallic Necrons for mine.
aesthetic as well.
Oh, are you going to go with more of the, like, ceramic look?
When I sat down and-
Ceramic or lacquered or something.
Somebody's asked
Interesting. Once you decide on a paint scheme, because you are infamous for taking forever to decide on a paint scheme.
Not only have we
I don't think you've ever set up on a Tyranid paint scheme the entire time I've known you.
Well, I do like the one I did that Exocrine in. I think that's neat. I just need to paint more Tyranids.
Yeah. Well, your skills have gotten better, so I think as you...
I do, but I love them. At some point, I'm going to do a proper Space Wolves.
I think I finally decided I'm going to do my Space Wolves in Kenny style like you did Gygor Fellhand.
A bunch of cool new stuff. If you look at the video, you'll have seen the
By the way, if you guys want some great painting tips from somebody that's well established, Kenny Boucher from Next Level Painting, pretty good guy.
You can find some of his tutorials and stuff on YouTube, or you can catch him on Twitch.
Yeah.
It goes live on Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturday mornings. So here in just a little while.
Yeah.
He's
He's
definitely
probably watching this and responding. I bet if we looked, we would see some responses from him in there.
Quite often in the past, before this year, when we do previews,
he. I learned a lot of my painting techniques from him. I've
Oh, yeah.
formed my own style, but I learned a lot of my techniques from him.
Yeah, and he definitely has his own style, but he can literally do any technique you ask about. And he'll gladly show you in stream too.
Yeah, he interacts with his community very well.
Yep.
I know painting tutorials and stuff is something we're hoping to do in the future. Just, painting basics and even some more advanced techniques. But definitely, if you're looking to learn to paint and paint well, go check him out.
animation protocols. I'm not a catalyst. I'm just not going to do it right now. We're going to cover the animation protocols, more rules, more special features, and stat lines, and everything, all on the Warhammer Community website, warhammercommunity.com, and go there.
What's that?
Up to date with all of it. There's simply not enough time in the world to read you all the bits of these codexes that I would like to teach. Maybe one day story time with Adam and Eddie will be a thing. But for now, we have the Warhammer Preview Online Codex show. We are so glad that you joined
You're
us.
looking for Kenny in the chat?
It's been a pleasure. Anything else? Or shall we sign?
No, I was just going to say it's been a pleasure again, Adam, to join you. I think, as you said, there's an article on the Warhammer Community website now. If there's anything you saw in this community you want to see again, you can hop over to the community website. There's nice, luscious pictures of all the miniatures you've seen. You can watch all the videos again. And if there's anything you want to have a discussion about this, hop over onto the Warhammer 40,000 Facebook page.
I just want to look at the heavy intercessor stat line a little more.
Yeah.
Let's go.
We'll do that and hash it out.
And spending a little bit of your Saturday with us. Hope you've had as much fun as we have from myself, Eddie Eccles, Ben Bay behind the scenes, and everybody here working with Warhammer teams, with great stuff. The Warhammer studio. It's been a pleasure to see you very soon. Have a good day.
Master Sanctity rules are nice. Heavy intercessors.
No, sorry. My
This was so funny.
They're back, and this time the tanks float. Fine. Fetch the destroyers.
He's got a coffee mug. I love it. Probably tea mug because he's British, but oh
Yeah, no British. It's totally a team mode.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh man, that skull is so cool.
they're trying so hard to get me back into Space Marines, like heavy duty.
Yeah.
Trying so hard.
I'm already drinking the Kool-Aid. You ain't got to worry about me, boys. You're going to have my money.
Lord Cook, you
Oh, we get this one again, too.
problems by making more Weimar Space Marines.
Primaris button. I didn't notice that he smacked the Primaris button before.
Oh, those models are just
Oh my gosh, yes. I love that too.
that model right there. Oh,
That really begs for a heavy Japanese themed chapter. That would be a cool little. We didn't really get much on the version with the stubbers.
didn't get much what?
Get much info on the version of the new land speeders with the stubbers on the turret.
Well, I think was that here? That stat line might be here. I'm looking at the website right now.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, they're going to reshow all the. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and exit Twitch there. Okay. I'm going to go. I'm going to bring this up and reshare the screen so we can look a little bit. Are you seeing the screen share?
I am. Yes. Sorry, I was wrong. I was looking at this.
Oh, you're good. I was just making sure that you could see the screen share. So you're seeing the intercessor and everything, the heavy intercessor.
Oh no! I apologize.
Share screen. There it is.
There we go. Ah, yes.
So there's the heavy intercessors. All right. So 4 to 9. If this unit contains 6 or more models, it has a power rating of 14. Okay. So 4 to 9. So plus a heavy intercessor section. Okay. So you can do a 5-man and avoid the.
For every 5 in the unit, you could take the one heavy bolter. So if you do 2 unit or 2 groups of 5, I don't see the ability to combat squad. But then again, this probably isn't
Yep,
full.
it's on there. Abilities: Angels of Death Combat Squad. So you can take a 10-man squad and split it into 2 5s.
Okay, good. So that they're not as vulnerable to the.
I guess my question would be is whether they're going to be a troops choice. I would assume they're going to be a troops choice.
Maybe a heavy, because heavy is in there, but we don't have any symbols. See, keywords: infantry corps. Yep, you're right. They're probably a troops choice. Primaris intercessors, Mark 10 Gravis, heavy intercessor squad. Yep, that's probably a troops choice we're looking at, folks.
Oh, I mean, I really like it. I like
I
it.
can't say I'm mad about it at all. Do we have any?
Strength 5 on their bolt weapons.
Yeah, all that is really going to be a worry to any other army. I mean, they're going to be able to reach out and touch a lot, especially with that AP2 on those hit. I mean, really, to be honest, the executors are where I'm looking right now based on that squad. 42-inch range, strength 5, AP2 damage 2 and 3 for the bolter.
That would
bolter rather.
That'd be a good squad to sit on an objective in your
Yes, it would.
deployment zone or close to it.
Yep.
And have them just sit back there and snipe things. I mean, they don't have the sniper ability, but
They reach out and peg something for sure.
For me, I'm looking at a lot of those Hellstorm bolt rifles.
Actually, that's probably where I'll go with my Space Wolves, because you're laying down cover fire as I charge.
Well, that'll be extra nasty with White Scars,
Yeah.
since White Scars are going to be able to advance and fire their assault weapons as if they hadn't,
Yeah.
which with Gravis already being a little slower, that'll help speed them up a lot so they can move around, advance, and still unload with the Hellstorm.
Yep.
But I mean, even heavy bolt rifle, strength 5 AP1 is no joke.
Nope. And it's still got the rapid fire profile, so that, I mean, you may see some White Scar people using that too. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Space Wolves, Black Templars, and the Black Templar players that actually take it, and then did I say White Scars? If I didn't, I meant to. They'll be looking at the Hellstorm profile just to lay down the shots. I mean, strength 5 is nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, I'm actually a little bit surprised that the heavy bolt rifle is only rapid fire 1. I would have expected a rapid fire 2.
Well, yeah, 1, 2, 3, that would make sense actually.
Then 4 shots at 18 inches, so they have to get nice and tight to get
Really lay it in there.
Yeah, well, because as it is, I mean, strength 5 AP1, but it's only 1 shot at 36. You have to get within 8 to get 2.
4 would make a bit more sense.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely seeing a lot of use for the
Strong
executors and for the Hellstorms. Not as much for the regular. There could be stratagems though.
Yep.
Could be stratagems that really, really up that game. Because that's right now the stratagems really are very useful, because I know one of the stratagems for the auto bolt rifle for the intercessors makes it so that if you're within half range, all these shots automatically hit.
Oh,
you know,
I had not seen that, but that is.
So if you've got a 10-man squad, that's 30 auto hitting auto bolt shots.
Oh, wow. Ow, ow, ow. Okay. So you guys, just so you guys know, I'm like, I've just focused so much on my fluff that I kind of sometimes don't catch updates at the same time as everybody. So.
But I mean, you lean more lore heavy.
Yeah.
And then the bolt rifles, there's a stratagem that lets them fire their bolt rifle twice.
Yeah, I remember that one from 8th edition. So
yeah. So if there's similar stratagems for them, or if the stratagems apply to the heavy intercessors as well for equivalent weapons, that would make the heavy bolt rifle be able to do the 2/4.
Yeah.
So
or the Hellstorm would be 3/6.
Auto hits. Oh.
Just spray and pray.
So, I mean, yeah, no, I definitely like the look of those heavy intercessors. I could absolutely see them
Yeah.
with my Dark Angels. Oh yeah, the Eradicators. Ugh, that multi-melta goodness.
Yeah. I don't get why they showed us the stat line on the multi-melta there. That doesn't make much sense. We already knew the stat line.
Yeah, and it was in that article that we went over too.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I guess this is an official now.
That is a full-size Thunderhammer. It just looks so small in his hand.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right.
Okay, so there you've got
Hail Strike.
the Hail Strike and the Hammer Strike. Now, where's the third? Ah, that's right. So let's see.
Okay. Hammer Strike.
So, yeah, this is just the Hammer Strike. 10 wounds isn't too bad for the speeder. 9 power. So, yeah, probably 120-ish, maybe even closer to 150 points.
Yeah, maybe.
It's not going to be cheap.
No, but they're going to be darned effective.
But that,
16-inch range or move is nice. 10 wounds, nice.
well, yeah, I mean, that's pretty snazzy. I would like to see the stats for
That one.
I'm assuming it's just a standard Las Talon, and I don't know what these Gatling rockets are up here.
Well, they might be like the what is that Forge World one that Nova Star likes so much? The
Scorpius? Whirlwind
yeah,
Scorpius?
yeah, that could be like similar to the Scorpius.
So this is the Crackstorm grenade launchers,
Yeah,
and there's one of each. And then the Hammer Strike missile launchers is just crack missiles. Heavy too, that's nice.
yeah.
So this looks like it's going to be a crack missile.
Maybe, or it could. Yeah, that could be the laser target designator for a crack or for.
If you look at that warhead,
Yeah.
and then look at that warhead.
Well, that doesn't look like a lore head to me. That looks like a lens for a laser target designator. Because that's the only one that has the missiles on the winglets. Because that looks like the other lenses up top a little bit to me. On the
Possibly.
cupola turret there.
But no, I want to see what, because I mean
Yeah.
these are almost definitely Fragstorm grenade launchers.
Yep.
Heavy
And
onslaught Gatling cannon or regular?
Probably regular if I had to guess.
I hope a heavy.
Yeah, I hope so too. It's better profile, but I mean, I honestly,
No,
Twin Iron Storm. Sorry.
Oh no, you're good. I mean that would make it 8 shots. I mean that's not terrible up top.
No. Very good for anti-horde work.
Ugh, Silent King.
Oh my gosh, the Silent King model is great. That.
Oh, sorry, Ophidian Destroyer.
Yeah, you can call them wraiths. It's cool. I get it.
I mean, for those that are not familiar, the Necron 3rd edition Wraiths looked like that. I mean, terrible looking. Back then they were terrible.
Really? Huh?
I said back then they were terrible looking, but they were all we had. But yeah, so the modern Wraiths are there. But yeah, the old Necron Wraiths were that. So you can definitely see the similarity from that to the Ophidian Destroyers. They do tunneling horrors during deployment, reinforcement step of one of your moving phases, set up anywhere that's not, straight up deep strike, tunneling deep strike.
Subtract 1 from their roll, from folks' roll that hit them in melee because they're so hard to hit. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I mean, it looks like a solid unit.
Yeah, really, really does.
Blade
This-
ones.
I'm really sad we didn't get some rules for the flayed ones. I mean, showed off the models, so that's fine. But
All right. Well, any final thoughts there?
really excited. That's what I wanted to see. Good job, GW.
I agree. That's pretty much everything I wanted to see. We got confirmation on Codex supplements.
Yeah.
That excites me a lot. Still a little confused about Death Company intercessors, but we'll see. Could be just like a squad designation now.
Maybe, or it could be that the curse has crept back in. So.
But yeah, we got Codex supplement confirmation. We got lots of new Space Marine stuff to see. It looks great. I'm really excited. The new Necron stuff looks awesome, and if Necrons are getting this kind of treatment, gives me hope for the other armies.
Oh yeah.
That
needs some love.
I know negativity pervades in the hobby. It really does. A lot of people like to complain, and I mean, don't get me wrong, we complain about plenty, but that's a good sign. Necron's getting an overhaul like this is a good sign. They've not been a top tier army in a long time.
Yeah.
They've not been a high selling army in quite a long time. So the fact that they're getting a whole new model line basically is a really good sign.
In fact, it was hard to get their minis for a little while, if I remember correctly.
Certain ones, yeah. But I mean, and Games Workshop is more profitable now than it ever has been under the new CEO. I say new, and he's been at the helm for a few years now, but
yeah,
under the new CEO, they've done very, very well. They've turned around a failing company, and he has made it a massively profitable company. And I think we can look forward to more things like this. I mean, he was the previous CFO. He knows how to make money, and that's good. I think we can look forward to more revamps like this. He knows that new models sell, and hopefully people go out and buy the new Necrons and prove that. I mean, that's how we encourage them to do Orcs, to do Eldar, to do Tyranids. Go buy the new Necrons.
Amen.
If you have an interest in Necrons and have the money, obviously we're not telling you, to go buy them or anything like that if you don't have the money. But if you have an interest in them and you have the money,
jump on it.
Necrons. That tells them, hey, people want armies other than Space Marines and Chaos Space Marines.
Yep.
So,
although the new Chaos Space Marine sculpts are super cool.
They are really, really incredible, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what they get in their new Codex.
Oh yeah.
But
oh yeah.
All right. Well, if there's nothing else there, Scotcho,
I am good to go. Missing Nova Star today, but it's understandable. Life happens. So.
Life takes turns.
Yeah.
Well, we thank you for being with us here today. Until next time, we're the Armchair Generals.
Have a good day.